Hey guys, I thought I'd do something a little different in this video. This is the Pandora jewelry care kit. Excuse my fumbling, I cannot seem to talk or function today. But I thought I would show you what's inside it in case someone hasn't purchased it yet. So you do get the polishing cloth, which I have used. I just put it back in there so that I know where it is. Now the pink is for plated, so that is your rose and your rose gold and your gold charms. And then on the inside you have a normal white cloth, which is for your sterling silver. And I really have a love-hate relationship with this cloth. I tend to revert back to one that I bought when I was a teenager that works just fine, but you can see I've used it. I just don't feel like it cleans as deeply as their older cloths do. Excuse the ick, but it has been used. Now here's the solution itself. You do get a care label at the top on how to use it. Close lid tightly and store upright. Keep this and all chemicals out of reach of children, because when it's 4 ounces or 117 milliliters, because once you open it, it really does have some stuff in here. So you put your stuff on the little tray and you actually clean it in there for 2 minutes, and you can, again, I've used this, so excuse the ick, but it does clean. For me, I feel like, my personal opinion, it doesn't clean as well as, say, dish soap and water, but it's, if you want to do something in a hurry, it's always good. I don't know the shelf life of this. I've had it for 6 to 7, maybe 8 months. I've used it a handful of times. It doesn't really seem to say anywhere on the box how long before you throw it out. We got a little pamphlet which tells you all about Dutch, French, Espanol, Catalan, Polish, Turkish, okay, English, and the brush that it comes with. And I used it to clean this bracelet here, because when I got it, it was pretty gross. Like I said, it was secondhand when I purchased this one. I used it to clean that, and that's what a lot of that debris is floating around in there. I don't even know if you're supposed to tip it out to clean it. Like, it just kind of sits there. So I thought what I would do is I would show you some of the bracelets I've been wearing lately. I don't have lukewarm water, so I'll go get some, and then I'll show you the bracelets I've been wearing lately and how I would normally clean. Okay guys, so I thought I would do a mini comparison cleaning video for you. So here is the Pandora solution, their pad, their brush, and some lukewarm water that they said to use. And then over on this side I have some dishwashing liquid, lukewarm water with dishwashing liquid, and some paper towels. So my cleaning method, because I've been doing this since 2012, is been pretty much the same, and I tend to get a really nice shine out of my bracelets. I do like this, but I feel like it's not as deep as mine. I do have here some pretty worn, dirty, non-shiny bracelets for you. Just to show you, the first one is the one I have with Emily, which is my events bracelet. So whenever we go somewhere or do something, we get a bead to commemorate that. I also have my Disney bangle, which has got a lot of different metals on it. So I've got gold plated, enamel, and just silver. This particular bead is the one that has been having troubles cleaning, so I'm going to put this one in the dish soap. And the third one I have is another mixed metal bracelet, and these are all the ones from David on my Lion King bangle. So these are anniversaries, Christmases, birthday gifts, Valentine's Day, all of these. And you can see from the crown it needs a clean. So what I'm going to do, because I still don't 100% trust the cleaning solution, this is just my own opinion. You're perfectly able to make up your own mind. You're a human. I'm going to put my Moments one with Emily in here. And I'm finding that the bangle is not going to fit. So that is also the other thing to consider. So I will take the beads off, which means I won't be able to clean the bangle to show you a comparison. But what I might do is get a bracelet and just show you. So here is the beads. Now what it says to do is you just put them on this tray that's in there. It kind of does it all itself. It's like 2 minutes in the solution. These are 19 centimeter bracelets, all three. So I'm guessing if you had a smaller bangle, they would definitely fit. So here is the 4 beads. I really thought that that would fit. But what I'll do is I'll just put the top in so you guys can see. I'll set a timer for 2 minutes, and then over here in my lovely lukewarm, I'm going to put in my Disney bangle. Now what I normally do is I just put the whole thing in and I just let it sit. I will put the same amount of time on. So I'll put a 2-minute timer on, I'll let it sit, and I'll come back and I'll show you the different ways. These ones will probably sit there a little longer, more than 2 minutes, just because this is the chemical one and I want to get them out of the chemicals as soon as possible. This is an earth-based, plant-based dishwashing liquid. I've used it for years and years and years, and you can see both bracelets are in there. So we have my bracelet from David, my mostly secondhand Disney bangle, and my Moments bracelet with Emily, and you will see the difference, hopefully. So I'll go away for a couple of minutes, I'll come back and you guys will see how it works. You're free to disagree with my opinion. I am totally fine with that. We're all human, we all have our own minds, whatever it may be. So if you find that you like the cleaning solution a lot better, totally fine. I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't believe. It's totally fine. And over here is just the rinsing water that they said to use. And over the back there is just Pandora beads, so don't mind those. Alright, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay, so it's been 2 minutes approximately, give or take an extra 30 seconds or so. So the next step is you take whatever's in the tray out. This is just sitting loose on the top, so straight in the water it goes. And then you have this little divot. So the idea is you take the beads out and you tip them straight into the water. Obviously this goes back in. Again, I don't know how many uses this is good for. I can still see the debris floating around in there, which is pretty gross. I'm just going to put this to the side now because I don't need it. Make sure it's nice and secure. I usually just put it straight back in my box so I know where it is. And then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to scrub the pieces. What I normally do is I normally lay down a piece of paper towel and I just fold it, because as you can see it leaves a lot of water residue. So I'm just going to put the beads on there once they're rinsed. Then I pat them dry with another piece of paper towel. I scrub them with the brush, put them back in the water just to get off any excess that's come off, pat them again, and then I polish them. So I will film this, but I'll probably just speed it up just so that people don't have to sit here listening to me ramble on. So away you go. I find just to stick the brush in the holes works. I usually get Q-tips or cotton tips and just clean the inside, but I'm not doing that with these ones. So it says just a light scrub back in the water. Please don't mind me throwing my beads. I'm heavy-handed. Doesn't bother me. They're my beads. If you find it cringe, don't listen. Don't watch. Totally fine. Now with this, because only the top of it was in the water solution, I'm just going to scrub or sort of clean the top. The rest of the bangle I really should clean, but it wasn't submerged, so I will do that later. Before I change the water between cleans, you can see that there is some debris and some hair floating around in here from the bracelet. So now I'll just dry it off completely and give it a polish, and you guys can have a look. I just noticed. So because I have mostly silver, I'm just going to use the inside one. And the way I do this is I just give it a good scrub. So I keep saying scrub, but I give it a good polish. Now you're not going to be able to see too much on camera. What I do is I just pinch because I find the clasps don't like to be cleaned. Again, I don't see too much debris coming off on these, which is what worries me. Because I feel like with the polishing, it really should, because these are supposed to be coated in a special cleaning solution as well. But I really don't see the same as when I clean it with dishwashing liquid. Now, I'm not too sure with enamel what you're supposed to use, but I just use, to keep it simple, I just use the white part of the cloth as well, just because it is mostly silver, really. So it's silver plated, it's enamel. So here's the cloth. This is the section I used. Here's the bracelet put back together. I don't personally see any difference. I feel like it's still very dull for silver. Silver is... Now, because these ones are fuller, what I tend to do is I use a longer piece. I just take them straight out. I put them in the water to rinse. And I do them one at a time. So what I do is I take all the beads off and I line them up so what they go back in the same order. Because if I've designed a bracelet, I like them to stay in that particular order, just because some of them are, you know, important. If they're in a certain order, they've obviously been put that way. I usually dunk these twice in the water just because you can't really see the water, but there is some guck in there. So it's definitely swirling around in there. So I just need to get some more paper towel because I've run out. So I'll pause this and I'll come back. Okay, so the only difference here is this is now dish soap and we've got the double dunked water. I do use an old toothbrush. Okay, it's not gross, it's just I buy them. I don't use them on my teeth. I just use them for my jewelry now. And I also have some Q-tips. So what I do differently here is I usually leave the bracelets in the water, but because I've already taken them out, I'm just going to put this one to the side. What I normally do is once it's been dunked is just brush. Now this is a slightly longer process because what I then do is I undo the bracelet. You can see pieces of the brush comes off. And I take everything off, I line it up, and I go over everything with the Q-tip again. So I'll show you what I do. So if this was like lined up, I'm just going to show you with one bead because this will take a very long time. So you have the threading. So I normally get the Q-tip, I dip it back in the dish soap. I get the middle and I just twist the bead on a little bit and usually find that the dirt comes out. So this is why I feel like the Pandora solution to me is following the care instructions works a little bit differently, because with these ones I get right in there and I clean. And I used to do this with over 20 bracelets and I would sit there for hours and hours and hours, and it would take me a while. Because I have so many bracelets, I tend to do a 3 or 4 at a time. If I'm really in the mood to do the whole thing, which is almost 40 bracelets, I will literally just put a movie on and I will just clean as I go. Now this one here is one of those ones that I would probably give just a little bit more scrubbing to, just because this particular bead has been so tarnished that it's taken me forever to get it where it is now. And using the cleaner side of the Q-tip, again, just popping it in. I feel like this one is going to be really dirty. Because sometimes I find with the beads, the easiest ones to do are obviously the hanging ones, because they're not as, but they also have a downside because they're hanging, they sort of pick up everything. So I don't know if I'm making any sense, but like the bails on these are a lot easier to clean. There's not as much gunk in them because they're smaller, but at the same time, if they're like this one where it's double dangle, they tend to pick up the dust from the beads around them. Now the reason why I lay them out is, one, so I can visibly see how they're cleaning, but also just changing the Q-tips. The reason why I do it this way is so I can visibly see how much dirt is coming off them. And when I first started collecting Pandora, there was never really any YouTubes around. There was collectors, but I kind of just figured this system out just by watching old YouTube, talking to other collectors online and figuring out what was best. And I know this takes a lot. Like I said, the 2-minute solution is great if you're in a hurry, but if you've got time and you want to spend it, this is the way I would clean it. Just because for me, this works the best. So I'm only going to do this one with you on screen, and I'm going to clean my other bracelet off screen just because this is a tedious process. And I can't talk for half an hour about cleaning because honestly, it's pretty self-explanatory. The only difference with this one is because Belle's got her dress, I would just clean up under her dress as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's the same process. Once I've done this one, what I do is I clean every bead individually, putting them back in the line, lining them back up, putting them back on the bracelet. So that's just from the bail. Again, I feel like there's only so many things I can say. Here's Marie. She's usually pretty open, so she'd probably be a bit dirty, I would say. Yep. Just finish off these last two. Like I said, I'm only doing it this way because this is what I learnt to do when I first got Pandora. There was no, there was in-store cleaning and there was videos and online forums and blogs, and that was it. So I picked up a system that worked for me, just using my online resources at the time. There used to be a lot of before TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram were really big, when they were just like, when Instagram started, it was literally just pictures. It was not, there was no shorts, there was no videos, there was nothing like that. So a lot of the stuff that you got was from YouTube or Facebook, and that was it. So that one was quite gunky. So what I would do now is I've cleaned every single bead. I would then just get my polishing cloth. And this side hasn't even been used much, so I'm going to use that side to clean. Just go around. Now, because this one's got the engraving, I don't tend to clean that. I just kind of let it sit. So that goes aside. And then what I do is I literally just go back to every bead and I do this. And then as they're getting cleaned, they go back on the bracelet. So I'm just going to stop it here. I'm just going to pause it, and I'm going to show you this one. I won't show you the process for this one because it's literally the same as this. I'm going to take every bead off. I'm going to clean it. It's still wet, so, you know, it's the same process. But I will show you what they all look like once they've all been cleaned. So bear with me. So here's the cloth after the first use. I'm just going to use the same piece so you guys can do a comparison. Okay, so here's the cloth after the second use. So that'll just go back in the bag now, back in the box. And I'll just put my bracelet back together. Okay, so there's the second one. Nice and shiny. Just had a bath. So here's the 2 dishwashing liquid ones. And here is the 2-minute submerged in Pandora solution, quick brush, quick polish. So again, I feel like this is noticeably different. It's very shiny compared to that. But again, it's really up to you what you prefer. You might find like this is not 100% foolproof either, because like you can still see the word queen is definitely still tarnished a little. There's a ring there from where the crown sits. But again, I find this solution, the longer solution, works better for me. I feel like it's a deeper clean. I'm not saying this doesn't work. I have had Pandora go into the store and come out looking like this. So it's completely up to you what you like. Either way, this is just a comparison cleaning video for you. You make up your own mind. I just thought I would share how I clean my bracelets. Nobody really asked me to share, but considering it takes a while and you get a lot of gunk and ick and whatnot, I just figured it was a nice way to show you what I do. So I'm going to leave it there because this is currently 28 minutes long and it will be cut down, sped up, do whatever I need to do it. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a great afternoon. Once I get my last sale haul from September, I will share that. And I just want to also point out the brush is now dirty. So it definitely works. So you guys have a great evening, afternoon, morning, wherever it is in the world you are, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.